Hi, Imais here. I'm applying for World Youth Festival 2025, and this is my self presentation talking about the question. Tell us about your own youth project and its role in developing international youth cooperation, what makes the project unique, and what tools ensure its successful implementation. First of all, I would like to give you a background story why I chose International Youth Project with my fellows back then in 2018. So basically, Indonesia is facing demographic bonus nowadays, where the productive age population, age like 15 to 64 years, dominates Indonesia. As of course, this phenomenon is also, the window to the strengthening of Indonesia's economic growth. While in the opposite, Russia is facing demographic crisis characterized by declining birth rates and a shrinking population, in which the country is actually programming a lot of like ways to increase the population there by having the incentives for people who want to make a family or raise some children to be the next future of the population. According to this background, of course, we are now in preparation stage to face the 2030 to 2040, which are predicted to be the time where the demographic bonus happens in Indonesia. My fellow and I decided to work on I would say like an international youth project because we combine like several cooperation and countries which combine a lot of disciplines in the group. So our focus is actually to strengthen the hard skills and soft skills of the youth and entrepreneurial skill, which is now really needed. First of all, for hard skills, we are emphasizing on like STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, particularly on technology. And for digital literacy as well, we used the digital ways of coordinating with our participants and how our participants could function the platforms of finding jobs or opportunities outside there. And for soft skill, we also provide sessions that talk about critical thinking, problem solving, and communication. Last but not least, in our sessions back then, we also had a session that promoted the entrepreneur skill and the ability to adapt to changing job markets for creating opportunities and fostering economic growth. So here is the poster that was about the project back then. Basically, our focus is to strengthen the career preparation between the youths and also the employers. We are from three different countries who organized this um, program for over like 3 months, and we consisted of Indonesian members, Malaysian members, and also Philippines members. And in the workshop or the program, we are actually enforcing talks and practices on leadership skills, career updates, interpersonal competence, and professional presentation, like on how to design a CV, write a cover letter, and conduct an interview. Because the participants are the majority like local students, so sometimes there are kind of like skill gaps between the local students and urban students. That's why we were starting the projects from the basic topics like the ones that I told you before. And we invited several speakers, very competent one, and they are all experts in their fields. Like the one that was working like on a digital company, and then we had also like a like practitioner working on psychological well-being for like employee candidates, or for those who have worked at a company or at an institution, like how to overcome like stresses or maybe anxiety or career confusion, for example. And the tools that we used for running the project is quite various. We had workshops, seminars, inviting the people in the field and across disciplines to provide the talks that we link back to the topics that we have outlined before. And then the third one is career compatibility, where the participants had a chance to communicate with the mentors in the workshops and tried to set a target, like where they would work, or were there any opportunities for them to get an internship for over like a short-term period of time, for example. So that's where career compatibility works. And then the last session is that volunteering or internship, meaning that the participants who got voluntary opportunities or internship opportunities would get monitored and evaluated by the mentors in the program. And this such program is really beneficial when we are providing, like collaboration between different countries. Like, for example, the ones that we had mentioned, like Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines. And now, how about if the project was reflected to create a diplomacy between Russia and Indonesia? So both Russia and Indonesia got some benefits, of course, like mutually. For example, as Russia is facing the crisis of population, for example, while Indonesia is increasing their population, especially those who are in the working group age, then of course Russia is benefited from this condition. Like, for example, Indonesia could be, like the resource of workers productively, while Russia itself, which is encountering the crisis, can be the one who provides the experts that can be mutually connected. That's why our international youth cooperation between Russia and also Indonesia is really possible. And from what I've learned and experienced before, through different kinds of seminars, workshops, or conferences, and even case studies, I believe that country diplomacy between Russia and Indonesia is pretty much feasible, especially related to like how to facilitate and transfer um, the human resource and knowledge when we are talking about handling the demographic balance between the two countries. So that's it of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that this presentation could bring a new insight and later on a new collaboration between me and the representative of participants in Russia to create a better opportunistic project for the youth between the two countries, Russia and Indonesia. And I hope that I can be selected as the candidate of the World Youth Festival 2025. Thank you. Bye bye.